Hi! Today we're going to do something super duper fun. We're going to do a story and an art project. I call this a read and make. So here's the book we're going to read, and when we're done with the book, you are going to need a piece of paper and some markers or crayons or colored pencils or something like that. You can pause this video anytime you need to. If I'm going too fast or if you need to catch up, that's just fine. Let's get started with our story. It's called Walter's Wonderful Web. Do you see lots of letter W's? Walter's Wonderful Web. This is a book about shapes. Walter wished he could spin a perfect web, just like his friends. But Walter's webs weren't perfect. They were wibbly wobbly. And when the wind blows, wibbly wobbly webs always blow away. Darn it. But Walter was determined, so one morning he decided to start with something simple. Very carefully, he made a small web in the shape of a triangle. Look at that triangle web. Let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3. Whoosh went the wind, and it blew the web away. Walter started again. This time, he made a bigger web in the shape of a... What shape is it? Square! Let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoosh went the wind, and it blew the web away. Walter sighed, and he started again. This time, he made a longer web in the shape of a... What's that? Rectangle. A rectangle looks kind of like a square. It has corners on the sides, but it's kind of stretched out. Let's count the sides. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. Whoosh went the wind, and it blew the web away. Walter sighed, and he stretched his legs and made a taller web in the shape of a... Can you see that one? A diamond. Should we count the sides? 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoosh, whoosh went the wind, and it blew that web away too. Perhaps my webs should be more round, thought Walter. Can you think of a shape that's a little more round? Maybe it doesn't have so many corners. So he climbed up and down. He twisted and he twirled. Would this be Walter's first perfect web? Nearly. It wasn't a perfect web, but it was an almost perfect circle. And it looked strong. Does a circle have sides that we can count? No, a circle just goes around and around and around and around. There's no corners or sides. That's a circle. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh went the wind. Poor Walter hit the ground with a bump. Look at that, he fell down. Walter was tired and upset. He felt like giving up. But as the sun went down, he thought about all the different shapes that he made. And all at once he knew just what to do. So he took a deep breath and he set to work. Walter is not giving up. I like that about Walter. Even when it gets really hard and he's feeling sad and frustrated, he never gives up. Whoosh went the wind. But it didn't stop Walter. Not this time. Look at that. It's nighttime. Even the owls are awake to watch Walter work. Walter's web shined in the moonlight. It was better than perfect. It was a truly wonderful web. Can you see this web? Look at all the shapes he included in his web. Do you see any round circles? Do you see any pointy triangles? Triangles always remind me of a slice of pizza. How about squares? Do you see squares on this web? He included so many shapes. What a beautiful web. All of these shapes were in our book. Let's see if you remember what these shapes are called. Okay, I'm going to point at the shapes. You tell me what they are. Rectangle, diamond, square, circle, triangle. That one's like a slice of pizza. Well, today we're going to be doing a little art project just like Walter's wonderful web. You need a piece of paper, just like this, and you're going to need crayons or markers or colored pencils, something that you can color with. Okay, we're going to be making some art to remind us of Walter's wonderful web. I'm going to teach you a really big word today because this word is going to help us with our art. Have you ever heard of a word? Concentric. It's a long word. Concentric. Concentric means that you've got a really big shape, and then inside that shape is the same one but a little smaller, and then inside that is the same shape but a little smaller, and it keeps going and going and going, getting smaller and smaller. I thought maybe we could use a shape on our paper and we could make a concentric design, concentric art, where the shapes get smaller and smaller and smaller inside. I'm going to start with a circle. You can start with a circle or you could draw a different shape to begin. I'm going to make a big circle on my paper. I'm going to keep making smaller circles inside of this one with different colors. So the first color I used is blue, and now I think I'm going to use this one, purple. Okay, so I'm going to make concentric circles. So the concentric circles are going to get smaller in here. This one's not quite as big as my blue circle. Do you see that? It's a little bit smaller. Okay, I need a new color. I'm going to keep going and make concentric circles, smaller and smaller inside. You might be making concentric circles. You might be using a different shape, like triangles, squares, rectangles. But I'm just going to keep going, and you can keep working too. If you need to pause the video while you work, you can do that. Concentric circles, they're kind of tricky because you have to keep making them smaller. But you can be just like Walter in our story, and you can keep working hard. You never give up. Walter was determined. He didn't want to give up, even when it got really hard. He was getting kind of sad because his webs kept blowing away. But you know what? Walter was determined. He never gave up. He kept trying again, trying again, trying again. I'm going to make a couple more circles in here. I'm almost to the very middle. Do you see my concentric circles? Okay, I'm going to make probably just one more. After that, I want to make this look kind of like a web. Right now I have concentric circles, and you might have concentric triangles or a concentric square. That means that the shapes get smaller and smaller on the inside. And now we're going to draw some straight lines on our shape because the straight lines are going to make it look more like a web. So I'm going to use my blue marker again, and I'm going to draw some straight lines. I want my lines to go all the way through the middle shape, all the way out to the other side. So my teeny middle circle, I need my lines to go all the way through it. Watch me make my first line. I'm going to start way over here, and I'm going to go through the middle all the way to the other side. I'm going to do this a whole bunch of times. Straight lines through the middle all the way to the other side. I'm going to keep doing it. Maybe I'll go across this way. Maybe I'll come up high and go down. Maybe this direction. I need one more this way, I think. Do you see how all of my lines meet right there in my middle shape? This makes it look like a spider web. We made a circle spider web just like Walter. Thank you so much for working with me today. You made concentric shapes. That's when they get smaller and smaller inside. And then we used straight lines to make a spider web, just like Walter. Great work, friends. I hope that you will be determined and never give up. Goodbye, friends. See you next time.